Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. You've done a fine job. And I may be repeating what you have said, but listen up. That's what this organization is about, listening skills. And I'm going to challenge you to do exactly that. I don't think we heard from Jon White insofar as the ah. Did you also take note of the ahs and the ums?
I'll throw it all in together. Is that okay?
Okay, okay.
So as far as this word transition, Caslin knocked it out. He was the best, I think is what he wants me to say. It was excessive, it was gratuitous, but it was always well played. Shante was a close second. David, Scott threw it in. April, Vincent, Paul. It was just a transition nightmare to keep track of. As far as great use of the English language, just something about my ear from you on the other side of the pond. Paul Greenway, juxtaposition. That is the core of my duties. How lovely. David Ryan was going to convey something by two thoughts. Lavinia, you talked about, as the English would say, rubbish. I love that word. I'm also working on bullock, or trying to figure out if it's bullock or bullocks, but I want that in my life. You wanted to talk about riding the volume. That was wonderful. And then you used the cards, a la Bob Dylan. Shout out to Scott. That came from Subterranean Homesick Blues, Scott. I know you know that use. Donna talked about an excellent segue. Pat talked about best to better. I thought that was in a transition from good all the way to best, but I stand corrected. Zan, hugs and love will sustain me. That was beautiful. Pat, repository of memories, and time erodes memory. That was great. Sandra conveyed confusion and excitement at the same time. And it got a little romantic, flirty when you say, I'd like to Harold, I take a nice trip with your voice. That was a great way to put it. Paul Greenway, the discussion of age was just beautiful. I've often wondered how to answer that. And he's, first of all, I went for the highest money. And he said it's far enough away that he can talk about it. And it's basically end with, it's my age plus 20 to 30 years. Shante, you said belted out when I think, you said bolted out when I think it was say belted out. But I got you. You were busy timing. Scott, you were enraptured. You talked about the highs and lows of engineering. And then as a fan of The Wire, April, thank you for finding someone not in the game, but knows the game. Finally, I end on malapropisms, I believe is the word, Pat. I talked about Shante. Lavinia, you talked about a moonlight night. I thought that was moonlit. And there was one other. Where did it go? Oh, Donnie, you talked about getting a gentleman to speak. You attained him. I think you secured him, lined him up. I don't think it's attained. That is my report. It was a wonderful meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, John. Great listening skills. So let's listen to see. Thank you, Vincent. Hopefully someone was evaluating at 5 to 7. I'm sure we can place that somewhere in Pathways. Thank you, Vincent. Okay, starting from the top, talk about evaluating smoothly. I have 3 documents here that I pulled off of the website for International Toastmasters to follow along. But this club has just blown everything out of the water. So I am going to use just my notes. The intro was done quite well. Carol, you started this off on time, and I too love your voice. Pat, the Toastmaster, excellent opening, and the remarks about what we as Toastmasters beginning a new year, what we're bringing to the table, and what the table is going to give to us. I thank you for that. And I'm bringing enthusiasm, and I want to get enthusiasm from the members. Lavinia, thank you for that speech. For 10 years, I would read magazines starting at the back page and working to the front page. Reason being, I was the accountant for Playboy magazine, and if you know anything about the back page of a magazine, it costs the most. Lack of information on websites when you put in your information, Don't just park your name there. Put in the full title, the full information on the presentation you're looking forward to giving. You see, it's a disadvantage to the evaluator when you just park your name there. It's like pulling up to a parking space and not feeding the meter. We have to feed the meter. Table topics, no jeopardy there. Victoria pulled it out. She transitioned us well. Categories were excellent. I wish I could have taken part in many of the questions, especially my best road trip. Evaluating table topics, that was encouraging, and it certainly gave us all great listening skills. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we all love our pets, but unless they have paid the Toastmaster dues, we really don't want them in our background. They're cause a distraction. They're beautiful. We love them. But let's just see the people who are speaking in the little box. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Sharon, for your general evaluation. Now we're going to